All right, so what's good, everybody? Hope all is well. This is Zachary King from formerly The Future is Female. Yeah, but now We Hustle and Heals podcast. And the We Hustle and Heals podcast, that's pretty much the branch in which we talk about, women empowerment through entrepreneurship.
Right.
My mom, before my pop died, my mom was a stay-at-home mom, right? So she didn't have a job. And I don't want to say she didn't have a job,
she didn't have to work.
What I'm saying? But she didn't have to work. Yeah, that's the word. She didn't have to work. And then when my pop passed, my mom is, now scrambling, pretty much trying to find a way to supplement the income and, provide for her family.
Right.
So I really appreciate women entrepreneurship. Like it's personal for me. So I like the idea of, providing a platform where women could talk about their journey and talk about, their struggles. I feel like a lot of times when we see entrepreneurship, it's always like romanticized. It's always like people be like, oh man, go ahead, quit your job, forget of everything, forget your bills. It's all
don't do
working
that
stuff out. And I'm like, no, we need to have a hard conversation about what to truly expect with entrepreneurship. So with that being said, talk a little bit about like how you got into becoming an entrepreneur, some of your struggles, what was your journey like?
For me, so I am not a business-minded person. Like business, like the back end is kind of like Chinese to me sometimes. So I'm a creative, like I can make stuff all day with my eyes closed. But when it comes to the back end, like I have to, like I'm constantly taking notes. I'm constantly like writing things down or replaying things just to make sure that I'm getting it correctly. I'm always asking questions to other people who've done it, because I've never done it before. And like I said, it doesn't come easy for me. So starting off, I did start with a partner. My cousin was my partner. And so I felt like she was like way more like logic and kind of like detail oriented. So I'm like, all right, she got that part. I could just, let her do all of that part or whatever. But we wound up just splitting up and going our separate ways. And so now I have to be responsible for everything, which technically I should have been responsible for everything anyway, because being in a business, you still need to know all the areas. So I went through community college's Power Up Your Business program, which was very helpful. They gave us mentors. They gave us experts in like different fields, like marketing, finances, helping us figure out like what we need to have to operate in the city of Philadelphia, legitimately. So, and I'm still learning. Like I just signed up for another class on how to grow your business. So I'm always signing up for some way, because some things, even if I learned it years ago, I may not have had to use it. And it's like, oh shoot, now what's coming up, I got to use it. I need a refresher. So, so it hasn't been super easy for me on the business side. But I mean, I'm still growing. We've been in business 5 years on paper. So, but now I've been doing it myself for 2 years. And so, I still feel like I'm a little fresh in it, because I'm always running into something, always learning something. And then when you make products, like you have people asking you, like, do you make this? Do you do this? If I have enough people ask me about the same thing, then it's like, all right, I'm gonna look into it. I'm gonna figure out, how to make it or whatever. But I get so many ideas from so many people, and I have ideas myself. But I still have my 9 to 5.
First and foremost, let me just say I really appreciate your transparency, and your vulnerability as well, because so often whenever I talk to entrepreneurs, or even, to ones I see on, social media, they try to act like they have everything figured out. It's like they just a subject matter expert on everything. And it's like, so to hear someone say, I'm not that great at this right here, this wasn't my strong suit, it's actually refreshing. And it's how can you not appreciate that?
And I feel like people, and I'd say I fall into this sometimes too, not so much with my business, but like with work things. Sometimes I approach it and I get upset with myself because I don't already know something. And it's like, all right, but if you haven't done it though, Des, how you gonna know it? That's like you got to do it. You got to mess it up a couple of times and, actually keep trying until you get it right. So that I think people struggle with that as well, like in any field, but in entrepreneurship, like you have to feel like you're an expert in it. And I mean, starting off, I ain't no jack about candles. Like I knew nothing about candles. I didn't even like candles that often. So yeah, so I had to go through learning the different types of wax. And because everything again is all natural, I'm only focusing on natural waxes. So I had to go through, like, figure out like what kind of wax did I want to use. And literally, when I tell you, everything affects your candle burn. So it's one thing when you're making it as a hobby, you could do whatever. But when you're selling it, you got to make sure you giving people what they paid for. So the wax, the wick, the container, the fragrance oil, the amounts, every little thing matters. Because if I use this wick with a different container, it's not going to work right. So even like going through all of that, trying to figure out what formula works for like your business, like you have to, I feel like that's like the most important time that you spend is in testing your products. Because once you got it down, then all right, we got it, we out the way, and we can just go into, you know, production and selling. But if you're not testing your products and you just like all willy-nilly, like, oh, I made this candle, I could sell it, you're not going to get repeat customers. Because I'm like, that candle wasn't even that good. Or my candle tunneled the whole way, it didn't even burn. Like, yeah, I don't want people, you know, talking bad about my business.
No, that's for sure. No, and I appreciate the care and the extra, you know, energy that you put into it, because you're right. So often we run across entrepreneurs who just want to make money and they don't think about their customer experience. It's like they don't
all
take
about that
time
for me
to understand that. So, and I think that's a thing that you didn't mention it on this one, but you mentioned it prior on about how there are so many candle places out here that people could go to. You know what I'm saying? So it's like to not provide that extra care for what your customers might be thinking. You're almost doing yourself a disservice.
You absolutely are. And that's how, like, when we started, there weren't a lot of like these types of shops in the city. And I feel like we all kind of started coming up on the same type, like around the same time. I feel like we started first, and then there was one that opened up like before. So we were mobile first. So while we were still mobile, there was a brick and mortar one coming up down Center City. And then when we got our brick and mortar, I started hearing about other people's that were popping up. And I've even like visited a couple, and I was like, oh, cool. Cause I always like I don't believe in competition. Like what's for me and my business is for me and my business. I feel like I can't believe that and also be like, oh, well, somebody else stole my customer. That wasn't my customer. Like, and they, you know, everybody's not going to give you the same experience. So I will say that I do pride myself on the experience that people get in here, because for me, when you walk through that door, like you are like a sister center. You are part of my Sentin family at this point.
No, that's real.
So I take that very seriously, because I want to make you feel like the whole goal and objective for me and Sister Sense is to make my customers feel a certain way, whether I'm in here or whether I'm outside vending, or even like if I'm walking in the streets or something. And I guess that's just the natural thing. Like I want to make people feel good. That's it. So I've created a space now where they can come in and get that feel good.
Who made me conscious of that was shout out to All Money Shots, Vern.
Hey, Vern.
Vern, man, he made me conscious of that. He always used to tell me, Zach, people remember how you made them feel, you know? And sometimes, you know, I could tell you, I mean, I have definitely fell short of that. So, you know, and it's really, you know, it's not something intentional. You know, but sometimes it's just like, you know what, and I have become conscious of that. I have become conscious of that to make sure that it's bigger than Nino Brown. Because I can look at it from my perspective and say, oh man, you know, I did this, and then it's like, no, did I really do the best I could that day? You know, sometimes I owe a person an extra explanation. You know, I'll get sometimes caught up into my own feelings, like, man, I did the best I can, and then it's like, no,
you really?
So I definitely appreciate that. To kind of track back a little bit, we talked about how when people, you know, first open up their business and why they become so, you know, focused on the money, is because they're almost, I mean, a lot of times they open into the business as a survival mode. So it's like, I don't have no 2-3 years to wait until this thing becomes successful. I got to get money now, right now. But by doing it that way, you operate from a place of desperation, and and it comes out. It comes out in your pores.
Yeah, that's true, and that's also why I have my 9 to 5.
Right.
The goal is to eventually transition into my business full time, but in the meantime, like I have bills to pay.
Right.
My business, I have an overhead that I have to pay. So for the most part, the money like that I am making here goes back into here.
Right.
Like I don't pay myself from Sister Sense. So for me, like I have to have a supplement, like I have to have an income.
Right.
In order, to survive. But I've even managed to kind of work this into my 9 to 5. And that's my thing. Like with this business, I don't like purposely go out to talk about my business. It seems to just come up organically.
Right.
And so I've been blessed that, when I'm in places with people, then I'm like, oh, hey, I have a fragrance bar, or even I've been in places where I'm just trying to chill, relax or whatever. And somebody will know I have a business and it's like, oh, tell them about your candle. I'll be like, okay. And then I'm like, there's a class that I'm taking, this amazing Pilates class with Coach Zai. Shout out to Coach Zai. Like she is all that. So
She's a sister as well?
Oh, she's a sister.
Oh, nice.
And her Pilates classes are amazing. And just the way she operates, like she opens it with a sister circle. She makes you feel welcomed and comfortable. Like we be in there crying and everything.
Nice.
But we love it. So the first day I went to class, I forgot what she always asks us to like say who we are, where we're from, and like say something else. I can't remember what she asked us to say, but I wound up saying, that I have this business or whatever. Right. And so one of the young ladies in the class all the way down the other, and she's like, oh yeah, I've been to her candle shop and I had a great time and yada, yada, yada. Nice. And I was like, it was exciting. So then the next time I went, like, I was like, I'm not, going to talk about my business every time I'm in here. Like, this is her class and whatever.
Right.
And I tried to be all cute and quiet. And she pointed out, she was like, and tell us about your businesses.
No, I love that, man.
And I was
that
like,
is the alley that we need in businesses too.
Yeah.
I operate the same way. I don't do competition. It's collaboration.
It's enough for everybody.
When I came home, I was in New York. So when I did my time in New York, so when I got paroled and everything else, I was like, I'm going to New York. And that was another reason why I got into photography, because I was like, look, New York, I could make it in New York, so forth and so on as a photographer. And the culture was just so much, it was so collaborative, over there. Like it was just so like, I would take pictures at the park and dudes would be like, yo, man, tag me, man. Now before I even know what tag was, I didn't even know what Instagram was doing. They just tag me, man. They would go in, they would pose for me.
Oh,
and when I came to Philly, I tried the same thing. Like I never forgot. I went to Love Park where they were going to skate right across the street from Love Park, right where the municipal building is. They had the skaters out there. And I'm taking photos of the skaters, and I almost got into a fight because they was like, yo, I ain't asked you to take my photo, bro. And da-da-da-da. And I'm like, for real? Like, it was just so much of a night and day.
Yeah.
And I just remember, like, man, I never wanted to be in that space where, so when I meet photographers, it's like, yo, brother, what you working on? Like, yo, and they be looking at me, giving me the side eye because they're like, yo, are you serious?
Right.
And then over the course of time, they realize, like, I put my money where my mouth is.
Yeah.
I am famous. I won't say famous, but I am, I am, my folks know, people who know me, I'm like, hey, this is what I'm working on. This is my platform. This is how we could get money. This is how we could collaborate together.
Right. Right.
It's weird because I'm becoming the guy that know a guy. It's like,
that's how I am, a great resource,
right?
And that's all. And I've always been like that in my old job. People be like, Dad, you know such and such? I sure do. Or if I don't know, I will find somebody for you.
Right.
Like, yeah, I'm the same way, and that's how your group operates.
Right. Oh, so shout out to the group.
Yes.
The Future is Female. We have, so full transparency, you guys. So when I started the podcast, just like all of us, when we start our business, we start off and we just hit the ground and we started running. And I was fortunate enough to have a solid product, and the product ran. So, but it was as far as like monetization, as far as advertising, sponsorships, I missed all of that. So now I'm like, listen, I have to change up a few things so I can kind of get right. So, you're looking at it on real time. Like again, you're looking at an entrepreneur talking about his dream, and so forth and so on. Now I know what you're thinking. Is he hustling with heels? No, that is not. Not absolutely.
If you see that man's feet, he
Yeah.
can't get
No,
nobody's
absolutely
heels.
not the eagle claws. You know what I'm saying? So no, I am not hustling some Jordans, yeah, but I'm not hustling in no hills. But definitely, but the hustle is real, you know. And
Absolutely
with
is.
so many women in the group, you know, and it's like, you know, you want to be the man for them. You know, it gets sometimes the pressure gets a little much because it's like, I remember I was out with a friend of mine one time, and she was like, somebody from the group called me and asked me to do something. So I'm like, hey, babe, give me a moment. Let me take care of that. And she like, you like everybody surrogate boyfriend and blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? And, but what it is again, it's, well, for me as a black man, you know, it gives a lot of our sisters, by the time, I feel like that by the time they made it to me, they've been dropped. You know, they've been dropped on their head. They've been disappointed. They've been let go. They've been hurt. So it's like this kind of gives a chance to kind of right the wrongs a little bit.
You come in, you Captain Zach Sabo.
In some ways, I don't want to say save.
No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Like you want to be the the sauce fish. You want to be the difference.
I want to be the difference.
I got you. I
want
got
to be
you.
the difference. No, but that's real though. I mean, because okay, so again, full transparency. When we grew our group, the group initially grew to like 80 something people, right?
Majority women. It's
All
probably like
women.
3
It
men.
was like 3 guys sitting there, all women. And one of the things when I would tell women when they first come into the group, I would say, hey, don't worry about reciprocation. Everything's gonna be reciprocated to you. Just pretty much pour in. You know, you see somebody, you see a need. I will personally buy your tickets. I will personally go to this place. I will do whatever
And
I
you
got
definitely
to.
be showing up.
And I did. But that joint was killing my pocket.
I'm sure.
It was killing me.
You got 80
Like,
women. We all got stuff going on.
I was being completely stressed then. And I was just like, and then also too, I've seen it to where a lot of the women were, when they had an event going on, they will post their event. They will get everybody to want to come and support. And then when it came time to support others, they was ghost. I couldn't find them. So when I went to a paid subscription and I had it in my head, I said, these are the women I'm going to help. When they need me, again, full transparency, you guys, my car, I got a hot pink bag in my car for one of the girls in my group because she lives in Delaware. Her business is in here in Philly, and she needed her she has an Airbnb. She needed the Airbnb linen washed. So I got all the linen in there. And Tuesday, when I go to the laundromat, I'm going to wash the linen for her. So it's the little tangibles of, you know, if I can help you out, I can't, you know what I'm saying? I'm only could do but so much, but if we could be of help to each other, we do. We be of collaboration. For those who don't know, we just had a barbecue.
Oh my goodness,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, a little barbecue for all the members to come through, you know, and it was a BYE. It was bring your
everything.
But we had a good ass time.
We had so much fun stuff for that dumbass Uno's game.
Yo, okay.
That Uno No Mercy.
No, that game went forever.
It's like the Monopoly of cards.
It was the Xfinity Stone of card games.
Yes, but we had fun.
Because Stacy who told me to
oh, really?
So I got
Stacey, you can have your game back.
Yes, Stacy, you know what I'm saying? She didn't even come out, so I was so mad.
She might, you know, Stacey be all over.
She was scared. I think.
Oh my God, you're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that.
You know what?
Stacey, I got your back. I know you ain't never
scared. To go to Amazon and order her a dog, please.
Oh my God, please. She got you. She got you the next time. She got you next time. You know, Stacey be busy. Yes, I love it. Yes,
so she really do. So shout out to Stacey.
Shout out to On Purpose with Stacey J.
On Purpose with Stacey J.
Yes.
She has a podcast as well.
Yes, her Car Chronicles.
So yes, I was supposed to be a guest on there too. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
being a guest. I guess I'll be in my passenger princess type. You know what I'm saying? I'll be in my passenger princess type bag. Yeah, but it's a good show though.
It is. It's great. She asks like some wonderful questions and just why. Like I like to binge watch it.
Right.
So, and I don't even watch TV.
Right. Me neither.
So watching it is like really, really dope. So yeah.
Transitioning a little bit and still talking about in efforts of entrepreneurship. How was dating as an entrepreneur?
Man, dating is
You're a very beautiful
difficult.
woman, so I can't imagine your DMs gotta be crazy.
Oh no, my DMs dry.
No.
First of all, I can barely get to my DMs.
Okay.
So one is because this business is kind of split into two.
Okay.
So I have the retail side and then I have the event side. So here, because we host events where people can book and have parties and stuff, I had to separate it because people were confused. They was like, what is going on there? She's selling stuff, she's making stuff, she having parties, what? So I had to separate it. So that means now I have 2 pages on each platform. So that's 6 pages and my personal page.
I'm in the same boat. I have the what we calling it now, instead of it calling it, we was calling it the Futurist Female, it's now called I Am the Culture. So the culture is the umbrella. Then I have Hildish, Single-ish, and
you
then
got pages for those?
I gotta create individual pages for those. Oh my gosh, yeah, that's but at this point, right now, I'm at the space where I just got them all underneath one. So I got them as I Am the Culture, right? And then I got I Am the Prize. That's my own personal, my business page.
Okay.
So I'm like you. I have 4 different pages now, and I'm thinking like I'm going to have to get more because like I can't post up what I eat because I got just my business. Right. I can't post up me having. I
hate that because as an individual, like these are all of the things that you are doing. Yes, you have your business. Yes, you have your personal life. Yes, you eat and going to the gym and all of that stuff. Right. But you got to keep it separated. For the algorithm. Right. Whatever. But so I don't even get to see my DMs. Now I actually have someone who is managing my DMs for the most part. I still got to be involved in some. I can't be fully hands off. That's just not me. Like, especially if somebody's actually communicating, thinking they're communicating with me, I like to be the person responding. So right now, I have somebody who is handling it for the most part. Okay. But for me, as far as dating, it's difficult because I don't have a lot of time. Okay. And because my business is still kind of in its early stages, my focus really is in my business. So, and I've tried to, have a relationship while I was in this, in these stages. And I just realized like I can't dedicate enough time to, an individual to really pour into a relationship the way it would need to be poured into. And I didn't think that was fair. Right. So for me, dating for me is literally dating. Okay. We gonna date, we gonna court. I can't promise you that it's going, be what you want it to be. Right. So right now it's just not my focus.
No, that's real. And I'm actually getting back to that space. I keep telling everybody I'm on my Shaolin monks stage. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to be at that stage.
No, because I'm like you. Okay, so when I came home, right, my first year in the halfway house, I didn't have sex. I was just focused and I walked my account up crazy. I was just like, it's all about me trying to get right. My daughter still lives in a different state, but it was like, I want to put myself in a position where I can see her regularly. I got, my mother, she's older. I think when I came home, my mother was like 70 something, 72 maybe. Okay. She's 77 now. So she was 72. So I was like, man, I need to spend time with her. Like I got shit. Like I can't be worried about no female with her. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I lost track of that. You
will, because you'll get into a groove. Right. And I look at like a lot of like especially older women. Right. They'll get comfortable and settle with, just like being, by themselves, which is nothing wrong with that. But I know me, like I love going out. I love dating.
Date waiting to happen.
I'm always a date waiting to happen. Right. But I love like intimacy. Like I love being in the presence of men. Like I love talking to men. Right. So for me, I don't want to get into that groove, dog. Like, like I want to cuddle. I want to wake up. I want to not be able to wake up because I got this body heat on me. So
no, I get it.
I don't want to fall into that kind of a groove. So I think I'm what, like 3 months out of a relationship. Yeah. So
I mean, relationships is a hard period though. Relationships is not necessarily the most, at least for me in my experiences, relationships are not necessarily I'm not gonna say they're not beautiful. I think they're beautiful. Oh yeah. But I will say that they are work. It takes work.
Yeah, I definitely think it takes work, especially depending on like what your goal is in a relationship.
Question: do you think it's harder now as we older, or do you think like back in the day it was easier, like
to date or to be in a relationship?
Relationships, dating. Do you think it's harder now?
I don't think it's harder.
No.
No, I feel like dating. I feel like is dating is dating. I
Okay.
feel like at every age, like you gonna have
Ups and downs.
not so much ups and downs, like you gonna have options.
Okay. Okay.
As far as being in a relationship, I don't know if it's harder. I think because I feel like I've definitely matured. Like whereas when I was younger, like you younger, you don't want to be with somebody, you could ghost them real quick or
Right.
whatever.
Right.
But now as an adult, it's like, yo, I won't ghost nobody, dog. Like this is why this is not working. And I'm very transparent. Like I'm an open book. If you ask me anything, I'm gonna tell you.
Okay.
And I don't lie. I can't lie. I tried the last time I tried to lie was in a relationship. This guy, like, I just didn't want to be in a relationship anymore. And so I told him one thing in the beginning of the conversation. Later in that same conversation, I told him the complete opposite, the truth.
Wow.
And I was like, you know what?
Wow.
Like, I just don't want to be in this relationship anymore.
Right.
And he was like, well, Des, why didn't you just like say that?
Wow.
I was like, I didn't want to hurt your feelings. He's like, my feelings gonna hurt, but So okay.
It's crazy because I'm like that. So I'm more or less like, tell me, yeah, I know it might hurt my feelings. I know my pride and my ego, but I much rather know and you tell me than you keeping it there. Because at the end of the day with me, it's like I'm your friend more than like I feel like sometimes I'm a much better friend than I am a lover sometimes. Like because a lover I could, you could be close-minded. Your friend, I'm like, so it just helps me a lot. So sometimes it's just like, hey, I know that, I got her well-being. I got her better interest at mine. As my lover, I might get selfish with you a little bit, but as my friend, sometimes it's like, nah, I won't do certain things. Like,
really?
Let me give you an example. Like, as my lover, I might be like, I want to get some extras, something on the side as my lover, right? As your friend, I might be like, I wouldn't want to hurt my friend that way. You know what I'm saying?
How could you put your friend above your lover?
Because we develop a relationship, a friendship first. So, or we have a friendship to where it's like, at the end of the day, this is the solid foundation. So it's like, if we become lovers, and it don't work out, I'm like, well, we still cool. You know what I'm saying? Versus we become lovers first and it don't work out. It's like,
we wasn't ever friends.
Right, we wasn't friends. So it's like, so I guess like that.
So what about what about starting off as friends before you jump into the lover?
I try to establish a friendship. Like I am definitely cool with all my exes at this point in life. You know what I'm saying? Before that wasn't the case at all. Like before, they were definitely, I would have to look both ways before crossing the street for sure. Because she might just hit my ass. You know what I'm saying? But like, and I'm talking about look both ways. I could be in a supermarket. I'm like, let me look both ways. Because
you was looking for that karma to come back.
Right. But now it's like, hey, the relationship didn't work out, but we still cool.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I still want the best.
Which is a mature thing. And I feel like that's how it should be. Like, everything is not supposed to last. Like,
I agree.
Okay. We got into this relationship.
You taught me that. You on the last episode that we was in. I don't know if it was the last one, but I think it was the first one. It was the first one. And you was like, even this T-shirt is not supposed to last forever. And it was just so simple. It just broke. I was just like, damn, that is so true.
And I feel like if people went into relationships that way, it wouldn't be as bad on the breakup end. But I feel like society has us geared towards or focused on making this relationship work into marriage or into whatever, but last forever. And it's like, that's not realistic. Like even with friendships, some of our friendships, we might grow apart. Or even if we don't grow apart, we don't see our best friends all the time.
Right.
So things aren't necessary. Like it's no cookie cutter way of anything being done. And I feel like not enough people, I don't know if I want to say not enough people because I don't know everybody, but I feel like so many people don't think outside of that. Like this is just what we're told, this is what we're conditioned to do, so let's do it.
Right. Well, again, society plays a part in that, and having them open conversations. Like I don't think people communicate enough. I don't think people actually talk about what it is that they want or what it is. It's so assumed. You know, I hear a lot of that from women because it's like a man should
He
just
would read
know.
my mind.
Yeah, a man should just know. Like a
Yeah,
man, like
yeah.
even this whole conversation about what you bring to the table. It's like he should
hate that
just see
stuff.
what he. And I'm like, you are an adult. You should be articulate yourself. You know, I get it. Maybe like you said, maybe I don't care for it. But if someone asks you a question, you should be able to answer it and not become defensive or not assume, because what happens when he don't see it?
But then again, I think that also is the because society says that this is how it should be. Some people don't even think of why it should be this way.
Okay.
Like I feel like even with emotions, sometimes people think that, okay, like say for instance in a breakup, like you're supposed to be mad, you're supposed to be bitter. Right. And sometimes I don't even think these women really feel that way. I just think they feel that way because they think they're supposed to feel that way.
That makes a lot of sense.
I would say if that makes sense. So I think it's not enough times I feel like people have actually sat and thought about like why something is the way it is. Because just because, and I can't remember who said this quote, but they was like, just because a thought is widespread or believed widely doesn't mean it's not utterly ridiculous.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Yeah, I know I screwed that all the way up. But.
No. But I totally get it though. I do think that there's a society, what we should be, what we should, and then that's why, like I tell people when it comes to relationships, it's like do what works for you.
Exactly.
You know, like do what works for you.
Exactly.
What makes sense for you. I am a believer in that there's somebody for everyone. Or more or less like, you know, right. Yeah, right. You could, and it's okay to throw a fish back in the water. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to, hey man, maybe this person, we didn't necessarily see it, but you know, I wish them the best. They wish me the best.
Right.
And we can go on. But like you said, there's no reason to be bitter, whole
yeah, like it just didn't work unless you just can't let this person go.
Right.
But
right.
I mean, then how are you moving on?
I would agree.
Like you can't move on. Like I feel like it's just so much easier to be. What is it to have an amicable split?
I
because
agree.
It's like, all right, we both gonna go our ways, and I'm at peace with it.
Right.
Because when you fighting it, then if this person went on about their life, you still holding on to a grudge or holding on to something, it's not affecting them in their life.
I would agree.
Yeah.
What about dating multiple people? What's your thoughts on that?
Oh yeah, that's my
That's your jam. That's my jam, girl. That's That's what it is.
No,
girl.
so
What's this thing? Hold on. How you? Yeah, little snap. Yeah, that's my thing, girl.
No, so Zach knows this. So with me, so I'm a fan of non-monogamy. Mm-hmm. I don't ascribe to any poly whatever. It's just because I don't really know what it means. I'm not looking nothing up, and I'm not trying to fit into whatever that is. But yeah, so for me, I became comfortable, I'll say, dating multiple people as an adult. So when I was younger, you know how you had your little fake little boyfriends or whatever. So I was like, oh, I like this guy, you know, for a couple of weeks or a couple of months. And then it's like, all right, I don't like him no more. So I'm going to quit him so I can see somebody else. Right. And then it's like, all right, I don't want to see him no more. I'm going to quit him. So then like as an adult, I realized that I don't have to quit them.
Right. Oh, right.
But I'm always upfront. I'm always honest. So when I go out with someone, usually like within the first couple of conversations, whether it's on the phone or if it's in person, I let them know that I like to have my options open. I like to date more than one person. And I'm not anti-monogamy. Like I think love itself is beautiful in whatever form, as long as it's pure love.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I let them know because I feel like it's only fair to let them make the decision as to whether or not, you know, I'm cool with this. I can, you know, I can handle this. Or if it's like, no, that's not my thing. That's not what I'm looking for. And there's no love lost because everything's not for everybody.
I agree.
But I realized I feel I date better. Like, I think it started like when I would call somebody if they weren't available. It's like, well, now I can't go. I can't do it. So I was like, oh no, I need to be able to call somebody else.
So just so we clear, because I know me and you are clear, but just so the listener audience is clear, that also means sex, correct?
Yes.
That also means sex.
Yes.
Okay. So because that, you know, again, as a man,
I'm
that's
sure
what my
that's what
mind
you thinking.
It's like, well, hold up.
Like, hold on, my girl out here.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never had more than 2 partners at a time.
I'm in the middle again. I'm in the middle with that. I'm in the middle. On one hand, I completely agree because especially like even what you just said about how like I can't go now. Like there's sometimes like see for me like I like having women in my life, and I'm not saying multiple women, but I like being able to go and say, hey, let me get your thoughts on this. Because women are a whole lot more detailed than I am. So me having a women's group, I will come, hey, what you think of this? There's so many times I'm texting, trying to get a thought like, hey, what do you think? Do this look good? And I like women's perspective on a lot of different things.
Right.
But as a territorial man.
And see, that's where it comes in. That's where it comes in. Territorial
man.
My woman.
Yes.
And see, and that's so hard for me to be like my man.
Okay.
Because I feel like I don't want to be possessed and I don't want to possess anybody. And that's what it feels like to me. And this is so funny because I had this issue with one of my relationships because he wanted me to address him or to introduce him like as my man or my boyfriend, like as, you know, my mate or whatever. Right. And it didn't feel natural for me. Like it felt so
like, hey, this is number 2. Number 2, hey, this is everybody.
No, and let me say this also. So if I'm in a relationship with somebody, even though it's non-monogamous, it's not a friends with benefits situation.
Okay.
Like this is we together. We together.
Okay.
Like we are in a relationship, doing relationship things. Like we're going out, we're having intimate conversations, we're spending time with families, like all of that stuff is involved. So it's a relationship. It's just different, I guess, from the normal relationship that most people are involved in. But so that I found it so difficult to say and do. I was like, it's just like, that's not even my language.
Right.
So yeah, it was hard. But that's where it comes in. And I think it's that territorial thing.
Yeah, we just territorial because at the end of the day, as my woman, I'm protective of you, right? Or I gotta be protective of you. So it's like it's kind of hard to turn that protective spirit off and on, you know?
Why you gotta turn it off?
Okay,
you don't want to be protective if she with somebody?
Yeah, see, that's what I'm trying to say. Like it gotta be. You know, it's like it's a little bit because he might be just as protective because it's like we're two masculine energies now. Because I'm assuming that you're gonna get someone that's just as masculine, you know. So I'm masculine, he's masculine. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey man, you know. So it's a different hit. It's a different hit.
Yeah.
And so I can imagine how that could be. Like that could be the challenging part of it. So that's probably the only area where because
that's a big area though because
no, it is. It's a huge area.
Because then it's like you might not, this might not be for you.
It's yeah. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like again,
and that's
but
fine.
See, I've been in circumstances to where just having a full, transparent adult conversation where you might have messed with a woman that got a baby father and he's still hitting. He's still hitting. You know what I'm saying? You deal with it, right? You know what I'm saying? We have all, this is not one of my things I'm most proud of, but I have dealt with a married woman before. So it's like you're able to swallow the pill then. You know what I'm saying?
But when she on the other foot.
Right.
Because that's my woman.
Right. So it's a but I do. But see, I appreciate it so much because when I like dating for me is hard right here, right? The dating for me is hard because sex is not number one no more. I'm not saying like sex is not top 3,
right?
Like,
it's up there,
but sex is not number one.
Right.
Before, sex was the equalizer. I didn't necessarily have to like your personality that well. We ain't necessarily have to agree with everything, but I want to hit that and maybe a few more times. So I'm gonna not say anything. I'm gonna let that ride. I'm gonna laugh at your joke a couple of times. I'm gonna do that. Now it's to the point where it's like it's number three, maybe 4. And so it's like if I don't like something, I kind of remove myself or say something more or less. I'm like, hey, this won't work.
Yeah, and that's how I am now. And I think, that definitely comes, I believe, with maturity. Okay. If it wasn't there, earlier. And that goes back to the whole communication thing. And I'll say, like, because for us growing up, or for me, I'll say, growing up, you come from, well, we all have some of the same experiences of, you speak when spoken to, or stay in a child's place, different things that might stifle you sharing your opinion. And so for me, it's set with me for quite some time. So I wasn't raised with great communication skills. So I realized that as an adult, and I'm like, I want to change that, because I want to have like open conversations, and I want to have hard conversations. If it hurts, okay, I done lived through death, so I could live through like these conversations.
Right.
So I just had to kind of get to a place where it's like, all right, we got to talk, because nothing's going to get better. Nothing's going to change. You're not going to know, how I feel or what's going on with me if I don't tell you. Now, some things I think that women look for, you have to look for the man that comes with those things, like the things where, like, I don't like asking for things.
Okay.
So, but I still like to sometimes, wake up to a little extra, my Cash App, extra, my Apple Pay, or something like, hey, go get you something to eat, go, whatever. But I also I realize all men don't do that. So, there have been times where I might have mentioned that, and it's like, oh, okay, that's what she likes.
See, I'm that kind of man, because like how you said, like your upbringing did not prepare you to become a good communicator. My upbringing did not allow for me to be preparing me for the kind of women that say, well, he just should, because like my mother was a very dominant woman. She was, I got it. I'm not complaining about it. I grin and bear, and I didn't see this. I didn't learn to appreciate my mother until I got older, because now I'm realizing like, shit, she did this.
Yeah.
Damn. But I didn't grow up with that. So my woman is a woman that communicate with me, where she knows that, like she says, Zach is a man where if I tell him to get it done, he gets it done. I just got to get out of my feelings of having to tell him.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Like I will do it, because it don't come naturally for me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just because of that.
Right.
So and that's where I have the hard conversation. Like, you could be mad with me because you're mad that I don't know these certain things. Like, listen, if I hear a thump in the middle of the night, I'm looking over. That comes naturally.
Right.
But knowing what's on your mind and everything else, that does not. You know, or saying that. So you might have to mention it. And even let me go take it a step further. You may have to mention it more than once, because you also understand that I got other shit on my mind. I got other stuff that I'm entertaining.
See, that's gonna be a challenge for me.
So that
would be a challenge for me.
I get it, but that's the thing, because look,
and I understand what you're saying, and it makes, because I be forgetting stuff.
I just
so I get it.
Where twice is asking, 3 times is begging, right? So I just grew up with. It's like I'm not asking more than twice. If I ask you a 3rd time, I feel like a sucker now. But I also understand in this thing called life, sometimes you gotta go ahead and ask that question, or put yourself out there for the 3rd and 4th time. It is not because the person don't acknowledge it. It's just because life
other stuff is going on.
Other stuff
that
is
makes
happening.
sense, and I can get with that. I can get with that.
So it's not coming from a malicious place. I think that we be like, well, maybe no, they seen that I called. Listen,
he trying to be slick.
My text messages right now is going to my laptop, not my phone. So I'm not seeing my text messages until I open up my laptop. So if somebody was to text me and be like, I'm not texting his ass back,
they probably texting you right now.
They probably texting me right now. The other day I opened it up, I had like 10, I think it was like 11 texts this afternoon. I had like 3, and I was like, yo, none of them went to my phone. So if somebody is mad at me, you're walking around here hot for no reason. You're not understanding.
You didn't even ask me like what's going on to get an explanation.
I really don't know what's happening. You know what I'm saying? I really don't know. You know, I'm not getting the.
So to have that grace to be like, all right, let me let him.
I think that's one of the things that we lack too in our community, black men, black women. I think we just lack grace for each other as well. We you know, for men like myself who is raising single mom households, sometimes I think we lack empathy. And I think sometimes the women who raise boys in them situations, they lack the empathy of what he might have missed, growing up. Did that make sense? So it's like, because of that, we always at this disconnect with one another, And I don't feel like we as our community give each other that space to where we can actually grow or hear another perspective. Oftentimes where I see where people who are kind of truth tellers, they get trashed. And it's like, this is why.
I feel like we, and I feel like especially Black women have extended grace.
You think so?
Yeah, a lot of grace, especially like, because I've seen women like be in situations, especially relationships,
Okay.
where they could have definitely and probably should have left a long time ago.
Okay.
But they haven't, for whatever the reasons are. So I don't know. I don't know if I would say.
I'm sorry, I was cutting you. My apologies. I make an argument that a lot of the things that women suffer from are very much self-inflicting.
Like what?
Like you said, they will involve themselves with a man that they probably should have never involved themselves with from the very beginning. He was a walking red flag. And in addition to that, they will stay in the situation for far too long. And it's like they will get put through the ringer, and then it will be, these men out here ain't shit. These men, and it's like, no, you involved yourself with some. I have seen women, and I'm like, Stevie Wonder could see that this dude wasn't shit. How did you overlook this?
Yeah, I don't think that's not true. But there's also times where we've been in relationships, I think, with men who wasn't a walking red flag. Like, they probably showed like everything that she wanted. And I think sometimes that's the issue. Like, sometimes women, when you say what you want to men, then they're like, oh, I'm a give her what she wants. But that's not really him. And you might not find out until later down the line.
True. I'm going to say that's true because men take time to study women, where I don't think that women take time to study men at all. Like, see, you got to understand something. Like, women, y'all are the biggest voting bloc in America, right? Women, y'all are also the biggest spenders in America. So there's a true financial incentive to study y'all, understand y'all patterns, understand, y'all habits, y'all ways. That's why you look at certain commercials that come on at certain times of year, certain hours, because it's a get y'all. And men study that. Men study women. Men will, like you said, we will hang on them words. We'll say, oh, women want this, I'm going to become that, right? I don't think women do the same. I don't think women try to I think women, when they hear men, especially if a man have a preference, it's the thing. I'm not sure if you've seen the Pop the Balloon episode recently where the guy talked about the girl hair. The girl
I saw it
too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not the girl with the short hair, the girl that spazzed on him.
Oh, I saw that. I only saw the clip of it.
She spazzed on him. You gotta see the full clip. I don't know.
I was looking for it. Because that is my guilty pleasure. That's the one thing I will watch. Yes, Pop the Balloon.
Shout out to her though, man.
Yes,
shout out to her. I love.
What
her
is Arlette?
Arlette.
Yes, like she came just came out of nowhere. Yes.
The girl, her stylist is
yes. She is decent. I love that little show though. But yeah, I was looking for that because I did see the clip. Now I didn't see the full exchange.
But she went in though.
Yeah, but I didn't see where there was an issue. Like he said, he didn't like people with short hair. I didn't understand why that was an issue. It wasn't like he said she was ugly because she had short hair. Right. Like I didn't see where it was any disrespect.
Like, it was just like short hair.
That's what they said.
Yeah, she did. Oh. She said, your mama got short hair. She's black. She got short hair.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
And I'm like, well, I'm like, but how do we say that his mama? And then we got short hair. His mom can very much so it's like we are the ones that's putting this down. Like, cause like she can very much have hair down to her butt. Who knows? Like, you know what I'm saying? But it was just that he couldn't have a preference. Like, I feel like anytime a man has a preference, I don't think that was fair. Anytime a man has something to say, so women, that's why I say women like the grace.
I've seen it reverse because I seen where one of the girls, she said she popped the guy a balloon because he was light skinned. Right. So then the other light skinned guys
popped the balloon.
They popped their own balloons.
That show is kind of, sometimes I feel like shout out to Arlette because I like her. I like the platform. I like what she created. But sometimes the superficialness in our people, though, man, it's like
Oh, it's a lot
it
here.
shows like wow, we are like dead last in marriage and everything. I mean, it'd be like, damn it, man. Like they like I remember once I was watching it and a girl was like, I don't like the way you dressed and something. And dude looked like he was like dressed out of like
Oh, I think I saw this. Like he had on like a nice suit. It was like a burgundy-ish, like
I
dark or
forgot
something.
what the brother was wearing.
I think
but
I just saw that
remember she was just
recently.
like, yo, how you dress? And I'm underneath the mindset that I believe that Burlington Coat Factory, Ross, TJ Maxx, what's the other one? Burlington Coat Factory, Ross, TJ Maxx. It's another
That's
one.
it.
Marshalls, maybe.
Marshalls, yeah.
They're the new Lord and Taylors. They're the new Saks Fifth Avenue.
No, I like
They're
all of those
Macy's.
places.
You know,
all
that's
of
what I'm
them
saying.
spots.
They're the new.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
refuse as a grown man. I'm not gonna say I refuse because I still find myself shopping in them high end designer places.
Oh no, you gotta mix and match. You can't
Right.
just all the time be.
Yo, I'm becoming that guy. Like where it's like if it's not coming from Ross or Burlington.
No, so I'll go into a real store or a department store or whatever, or even like just a regular clothing store. I'm gonna go see what my cousin Clarence got first going on that rack.
Okay.
And then on my way out, like I'll look at other things. And if something catches my eye and I'm like, oh, oh yeah, I really like this or whatever. Like I feel like I definitely want it. It's
Okay.
bringing me joy.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna get it. But yeah, no, I saw that one. And I feel like in that show, for one, if you're coming on a dating show, you gotta like come like dressed for a date. I feel like. So I've seen like a couple guys come on there and they just look like they just rolled out of bed,
Right.
which they may have, because I don't know how they pull, like how they choose these people.
I don't either. And it's looking like they pulling people from all over the country.
Yeah, they are.
Like,
So
they're
I
not
guess are they coming to
necessarily-
visit? What is it, in Arizona
It's in
somewhere?
Arizona. But
Yeah,
the girl,
like, who
I said,
goes
the
to
girl was
Arizona?
from Philly. They had somebody from there was from LA.
I would say to be LA,
Texas.
Atlanta, Houston,
Yeah,
like all
so they
over.
all
So
over, you know
are
what
they
I'm
getting
saying?
flued out to be on there?
I don't know. Be careful, Arlette. You see what's happening to the Puffy.
Oh,
Flying these people
Lord.
out. You know what I'm saying? Flying these-
Yes.
You see what's happening to Diddy. You know, I would hate to see that happen.
No,
You know what I'm
no.
saying?
But yeah, that's my guilty pleasure. But yeah, I feel like, especially in this day and age, everything is not everything, but there's so many things that are superficial.
Mm.
Because you look at everything is about like what I look like, what's going to get me likes, what's going to make me popular.
Right. Is it socially approved? You know,
Exactly.
Is it socially, and that's so unfortunate because that was a area in which our grandparents didn't have to worry about. They didn't have to worry about as if, yeah, girl, he's nice, he treats you well, but he look corny, and I can't
Yeah.
mess with him. And because of that, a good man get thrown away, or a good
Yeah.
woman. I'm just speaking from the side of the man, but
Right.
So they didn't have that additional pressure.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
no.
saying? Like they did, like how it is
now. Yeah,
now
now.
it could be like she could be a good woman, but she lame. She looks corny. She can't dress, or he's short.
But yeah,
you know?
and it's crazy because you would think that it's like a young thing, but it's not. Like it spans across all ages, and it's like when you get to I can understand it being a young thing.
Right.
More so because they're young.
They're young.
Folks
They
are
don't know
young. They
better.
grow, and they grew up in this. Like
Right.
for us, like I was saying
Right.
earlier, like we grew up on the air where there was no social media. There was none of this. Everybody can see what everybody's doing, and now we see this side of it. Whereas though they never grew up in an era where like that's why we were able to have freakniks and stuff like that because
right.
there wasn't no cameras videotaping everything.
Right, for sure.
So
for sure.
yeah, so I do have to give grace there because they grew up in a different era from us.
Yeah.
But you will hope that they would learn to grow their own confidence and have their own self-esteem, because then and also think for yourself so that you're not worried about comparing yourself to what somebody else looks like or what somebody else has.
I'm a wrap up. But I want to talk before I do though. I want to talk about body positivity. You know what I'm saying, and your short hair as well. Because we see with that right there with the girl, just using her as an example. She was triggered by the hair, and it was like you should have asked a black woman about her hair. How did you find the confidence to I guess remove yourself from that?
So I have had that confidence for a very long time.
Okay.
So I went natural before it came back around, because there definitely was, that in the 70s and all of that stuff, like where, where black women were in their hair natural and afros and stuff. So I grew up in the 80s, 90s. when
You got an afro?
I didn't have an afro.
Okay.
I grew up I was born in 77, so I came at the end of the era, but I grew up doing, the perms and the hot presses and all of that stuff. So probably in like the late 90s, I stopped getting perms. And I just wore I'm hair lazy. I've always been hair lazy.
Hair lazy. I never heard that word before.
Yes,
hair
like
lazy.
I didn't want to do nothing to my hair. It took me until I went away to school to even learn how to like wash my own hair. So it got to the point where it's like, all right, I'm a wash and go. I was like, other people could wash their hair and go and it's acceptable. I'm a wash and go too. And this is just what it's going to be. So I was like that for a very long time. So I was very attached to my hair. I will say that. And I didn't even realize it until I cut it. So I cut it just because I was just tired of hair. I kind of thought about it a little bit here and there, like some years before, but I just was tired of it. And I was already hair lazy. I wasn't doing nothing. My hair was always in a ponytail, was a wash and go. I didn't have to do anything. And I was like, I don't want it. And I was like, I don't even care what my head shape looked like. I don't care what my face is going to look like. It's going to be what it's going to be. And that's just what it was.
I love that about you. That was one of the things. I love that confidence. I love that inner strength. That is the most attractive thing about you. That right there. No, because I used to own a hair salon, Right. And I remember seeing so many women who would not want me to come inside
when it's washed, before it gets done.
Right. And I'm like, like embrace yourself, Even with my little girl, she got locks. And,
oh yes, and they are so beautiful.
Appreciate it. Yes. And I just love the fact that she decided to say, she was like, I don't want all that, and she decided from an early age, she's like, I don't want all that. And I remember like, when she used to get her hair braided regularly and, I don't want it. And I shout out to her mom. Her mother have locks. And it was because I just believe that you can't tell a woman that she's beautiful and or like she has to look like her mother. You know what I'm saying? So if her mother looks like a Instagram baddie, and she grows up with, her hair, looking crazy and stuff, she's not going to grow to appreciate herself. She's going to feel subconsciously like she needs to change because she see it happening with her mother.
Right. And that's your first role model, really, is your mom.
Right. Yeah, so I just felt as though that it was just so cool. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate that. And I'm grateful that you broke it down. With that being said, tell everybody where they could come meet you, support you.
Absolutely.
They could become investors. Let's just put that out there as well.
Yes. We always looking for some, not partnerships, but investors.
Right. Investors.
Yes. But so Sister Sense is the name of the business. And so we are physically located in Philadelphia at 1433 West Girard Avenue in North Philadelphia. Oops, sorry. But you can find us online on all of the social media platforms at Sister Sense or Sister Sense Fragrance Bar. And like I said, you can go on my website also at sistersense.com if you want to buy a product, if you want to book a party, if you want to reach me through my inbox, you certainly can. But so this is just a place where we like to come, we vibe out, we have a good time, and we leave feeling much lighter than when we came in.
I appreciate your time, your effort, your energy.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so very much. This is the We Hustle and Heal podcast.
Yes.